I think the most self-doubt that I have is after I had my kids,
Mm,
because you you realize you have to split your time, and then, like, what,
yeah.
do I let my children lose a little bit of me or work?
Hi, and welcome to Courtside Conversations. This episode is for the moms. Enjoy. I am joined today by one of my besties. Her name is Jessica Johns, and she is one of the women that I admire most. She is a excellent storyteller and always down for a good time. So I'm excited that you're here with me today, Jess. Thank you for joining.
Yes.
Um, can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and how you know me, and then what you're drinking today?
Sure. Just a quick summary. I'm a mom. I have 2 children, a 10-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. And I'm currently in the process of figuring out what I wanna do with my life after grown kids or kids old enough to be able to not need me so
Sure.
much. Um, and I know you from elementary school. So Courtney and I met in 3rd grade. We knew each other through high school,
Yeah.
went to the same college, and that's really where our bonds grew into something that is forever.
Yeah.
So we raised our kids together. We're in the same phase of life, and it's just a really special relationship.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. And what are you
Oh,
drinking?
yes. I am drinking one of my faves. It's a white wine spritzer with
Yes.
some Sauvignon Blanc and the old trusty pamplemousse.
And what host would I be if I wasn't joining you in this? So I too am having a spritzer. So can you give our listeners the 60-second overview of your career journey?
I've worked since I was able to. So I always worked in high school, worked all the way through college, worked a lot of retail, managed my own store, then moved into healthcare, which was the worst. I would cry every day because I worked in in customer service, and it was literally the worst. And then I got the opportunity to work for a branding company, which allowed me the opportunity to be more creative, to work with people more in a way that I prefer, which is happily. I loved that job. And then I had got pregnant with my second child, and decided to take some time and just try to be a better mom,
Mm.
because it was hard splitting work and motherhood, which I know a lot of moms deal with. And then most recently, I have been independent contractor for on-site events for corporations, and just kind of help as needed with events that they have pop up.
Love it.
Yeah.
And before we move on to the 5 anchor questions of the podcast, I'd love to know, what would someone not see when they look at your career journey?
Oh, um, that's a hard one because I do feel like people would see that I am a hard worker, that I work hard, and take pride in my work, but maybe they just wouldn't see the struggle of like the decision making and the choice between making more money or what makes you happy or trying to find where I fit in the whole career world.
Yeah. I think a struggle that all humans and definitely women can relate to.
Yeah.
When was a moment at work where you felt like you truly belonged or realized that you didn't?
The first one that pops to my mind is when there were ethical things that
Mm,
I didn't align with. And I finally had to make the choice between, do I continue working for this company that doesn't stand for what I believe in as far as like how they treat their employees, how they take accountability for things that go wrong, where they place blame.
mhm.
Um, I just couldn't sit in another meeting and listen to blame be deflected on other people when I did not, when I knew the truth, and
Yeah.
I knew I just had to leave. Um, and so that was really, really hard, feeling like I had no choice but
Mm.
to leave something that I really put a lot of work, and really the first time that I had a job that I really was excited and proud to like
Yeah.
say that I did.
Yeah.
So,
So it was clear that you were in a place that was no longer allowing you to be like in integrity with your values and
right.
stuff.
And then I'm like, what am I working so hard for someone that doesn't value the work that their employees put in, as well as giving them the praise when they deserve it also.
Yeah.
So that was a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Things can look great and feel great at the beginning and coming in, and then you just are like, wait a minute, what happened
Right.
here? This is not what I signed up for.
It's it's courageous to walk away from something that you love and that at one point did bring you so much joy
Yeah.
and pride. What's the best or worst career advice you've ever received?
My dad, I love him.
Love Bob.
Love him. He's the best. Um, but he is very old school. He's very like, you work hard, you make money, you take care of your family at whatever cost.
Mm,
And so when I was leaving the healthcare job, because it was literally killing me inside,
yeah.
like I was so miserable. And I got the job at the branding firm. I remember talking to my dad and asking for advice because I always go to him for advice. But he was like, well, are you making more money? And I was like, "No, it'll be, like, a little bit less, and the benefits are not quite as good." And he was like, "Well, why would you take a pay cut?" And I'm like, "Well, dad, sometimes you just gotta listen to your heart." And he
Yeah.
was like, Your heart doesn't pay the bills." And I was like, "Oh."
Ooh.
I was like, "Oh, God." I was like, "I get that, but it's not how I wanna live my life." Sometimes you just have to take the logic out of it within reason,
Mhm.
um, and just go with your heart, like, what is gonna make you happy? And u ultimately, that makes you just a better person for everybody.
I mean, you can't put a price on happiness.
No.
Okay, when has your inner critic showed up for you throughout your career?
I always felt really confident in what I was doing anywhere I've worked. I felt confident knowing that my work ethic and my, like, ability to want to do better would
Mhm.
take me where I wanted to go.
Mhm.
But so I think the most self-doubt that I have is after I had my kids,
Mm.
because you you realize you have to split your time, and then, like, what,
Yeah.
do I let my children lose a little bit of me or work? And so what,
Mm.
I wasn't showing up 100% for either,
Yeah.
and that was really hard for me. Now that I've been home with my kids for so long, kind of just falling out of that daily routine of, like, having projects to do and, beginnings and ends, and I don't have that anymore. So that brings a lot of doubt into just where I go next, I guess, because it
Mhm.
has been so long since I've had that validation of finishing a project or making a client happy, or, I mean, all moms know it's not checking a box and being
Yeah.
like, I got that done, or like they hit this milestone and it's because of me. And look at, it's just never done, and it's always changing, and every day is different. And it can be really difficult to see the rewards on a regular basis. So
Yeah.
to like give yourself a pat on the back or to make yourself feel accomplished, it's hard in motherhood, I guess.
Tell me then about a time when your inner critic is present or when you've got self-doubt.
I
How
cry.
um, how do you move forward anyway?
Any opportunity that comes my way, I feel like I try to take it and see where it goes. But as far as like raising children, I mean, I feel like we all have those
Mhm.
doubts. And then you have those moments that are just so clearly like, this is why, like, I'm doing a good job. And this
Yeah.
is like, I'm so proud. Um, yeah, some days it's just hard
Yeah.
to find that.
Yeah. I mean, even when you were telling the story about your dad's advice and he was like, well, are you making more money? And you said no, but still decided to move forward anyway. So
Yeah,
how did you know to do that?
because I am clearly way more of an emotional person.
Mm.
So for me, I kind of took my emotional side of knowing what I can handle and what I can't, and knowing that I can step into something new, and knowing myself and my work ethic that I could eventually get somewhere that I would be at that same level. Or even if I wasn't, I would be happy and I still could pay my bills and that was
Right.
fine. It's like wasn't all about the bottom line. And I just knew myself and I would be so unhappy and such a miserable person, and I did not want to be that
Yeah.
person. It's such a like a suck on every other part of your life if you're
Mm.
not happy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to hide it. It's hard like, it eventually seeps out and you just are not pleasant to be around, and if you have the opportunity to take that chance or to change it, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah. So it sounds like, again, you're really clear on your values and what you're willing to accept and not accept, and that's served you well.
Yeah.
What would you do differently if you could start again today?
I would follow that path of happiness, like, what makes you happy? Find a couple things that make you happy, feel them out, and then see how can I make a career out of this, or how can I be adjacent to
Yeah.
this thing that I love and still make a life out of it, because you always hear life's so short, but life is long,
Yeah.
and, there's plenty of time to make decisions, to change course, to find a new path.
Mhm.
So you don't need to go all in on something that you're not sure about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Listen to yourself,
yeah,
right? Like,
that's a great one because I feel like there's so much there were so many other voices and no one
mhm.
was listening to what I really wanted. But really, ultimately, you should just listen to your heart and
Yeah.
what you want to do. It's your life. It's
Yeah.
your forever.
Well, are you up for a lightning round?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So this is meant to be quick. First thing that comes to your mind, don't overthink.
Okay.
And these are work related. So, okay. Virtual or in person?
In person.
Ooh, you're fast. Best workplace snack,
Chips.
obviously. Least favorite office jargon.
Not in my wheelhouse.
Biggest workplace pet peeve.
When people do not listen.
What would your younger self say if she saw you now?
She would be really surprised. She'd be like, "Oh, dang, girl." I don't know, like, I never pictured myself where I am now. So,
Yeah.
like, myself back in the day, like, had a whole 'nother life
Yeah.
in mind. Like, obviously, I always thought I'd have kids. I always thought I'd get married, hopefully. And, but I never career-wise thought I would be where I am right now. Oh, she would be
Surprise.
shocked.
Well, my last question for you. I would love to hear what's bringing you joy these days.
Oh, that's a great question. Um, Seeing my kids happy and thriving is what brings me joy,
Hmm.
and seeing them just, like, become who they are
Yeah.
is pretty awesome, and just seeing them together with their cousins and,
Yeah.
being close to my family, I'm just very fortunate, and, um, obviously, you guys,
Yeah.
just being grateful and thankful for to have a group of friends that are so supportive and so fun, and I don't know, when you just find your crew, it's just very joyful.
Yeah.
That's not blood, but, all of our kids call each other cousins, and
Yeah.
that's just something really special.
Well, I'm gonna save this podcast recording and show your kids when they're maybe 18 and we'll
Okay.
actually appreciate it because
Yeah.
right now they're like,
They're
Mom,
they're like, "You're so
gross.
embarrassing. Oh my god, why are you crying?"
I know. But they don't know how lucky they are
Oh,
to
you're
have
sweet.
you as a mom.
Ugh.
Well, thank you for joining me. One thing that I'm definitely taking away from this conversation is the power and importance of listening to yourself, knowing your values, and following your heart.
Yes.
Before we close, can you share with everyone your favorite toast?
I don't have a favorite toast because I just like to go with my heart.
Yeah.
And I love any toast that just makes everyone feel the importance of the moment and just being with each other and the gratitude of it all.
Yeah.
So
So what would you do right now?
I would say cheers to you. I love you. Thank you for having me. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Oh, right back.
Love you.
I love you. Okay, listeners, thank you so much for pulling up a chair and joining us courtside. If any of this made you feel a little less alone, or if any of this resonated with you, please do share it with a woman that you love. And come connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always listening, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.